So my name is Gifty. I am originally from Ghana in West Africa. I live in the Cowichan Valley, specifically in a beautiful little town called Mill Bay. I own and operate a business called Shea Butter Market. I bring pure shea butter from my home community in Ghana, and I make a skincare line which I market in North America. I actually didn't know much about Vancouver Island. I used to live in Ottawa, and I met my husband, who's originally from Saskatchewan, and we ended up in California. He was studying actually at Stanford. So when he finished, I didn't want to live in the US. I wanted to come back to Canada, or actually go to Ghana. And he'd never been to Africa, so he wasn't that keen on just packing up and going there. So we decided we'll come to Canada. We'll come to the warmest place in the country. So it was going to be British Columbia, and I only knew Vancouver. So I said, well, I'm happy to move to Vancouver. Well, he said never. He would not live in Vancouver. It had to be Vancouver Island. And one of our very dear friends gave us our wedding gift. I had never met them either. So our wedding gift was a gift certificate to stay at Inn at the Water in Cowichan Bay. So we came, we arrived here. It was a rainy, really rainy, dark night. But the next day, it was absolutely beautiful. I think we went to their house for supper. We came back and we walked down to the dock in Cowichan Bay. And there were these people with traps. And so my husband said, and I mean, for me, it was the weather. Like, I could not believe I was in Canada in February and the sun was shining and it wasn't cold. And I had just a little polar fleece thing, you know. It was really shocking because I lived in Ottawa all these years, and winter time in Canada is cold. So anyway, but what excited my husband the most was that these guys were I mean, they had crab traps, and he says, so he talked to them and asked them how come they could do that. And they said, oh yeah, you have to buy a license, and they explained all the prawning and the crab to him, and he was just delighted. So he turned to me and said, we'd live here. And I said, well, I'll live here too. I would live here in a heartbeat, no problem. So with the help of our friends, we ended up finding a home in Mill Bay, and went back to California, packed up and came, and that was it. And this was 97, and we've never looked back. It's been absolutely amazing. I settled quickly. I mean, so fast that nobody could believe, because I was just happy to be here. I think the environment, the weather, the people are more laid back, very warm. And this is now even better for me since I started my business. And I tell my friends that I don't think if I had lived in Ottawa or Silicon Valley, I would have started this business. I happen to be in a community that's full of artisans. People making soap, people making creams, and people just willing to share their knowledge. Now, I often have to clarify to people which community I am referring to. There was a point when I said my community, I meant my community back in Ghana. And because of the way I have been received here, and because of the way I am feeling at home in Cowichan Valley, I now call it my community as well. In fact, just last night, my son was telling me, we were talking about his naming ceremony, which we did in Ghana. And he said to me, but that is not my community, he said, my community is here. And I was very interested, and I said, yeah, it is, your community is here. Your emotional community is there. You have a certain emotional connection, but really your true community is here. So he's 8, and so that's heartwarming.